Shalom. This is La'ab Noathan coming to you with another quick hit lesson entitled The So-Called Blacks, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and Latinos of today are the true biblical Israelites of the Bible. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Barachah Wadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of GMS who do rule and teach well. And I want to say shalom to the hopeful elect, brothers and sisters out there. May you continue to persevere while we are in this captivity, as we are at the end. Now, this lesson is entitled the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians of today are the true biblical Israelites of the Bible. This is a two-part lesson, and this is the second part of that two-part lesson. So I want to get started in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 43. So the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high, and thou shalt come down very low. The stranger is referring to the other nations, right? The heathen nations, right? The heathen nations that are above us, right? So all the other nations are above us right now. But the nations that it's specifically talking to are the ones that work in our neighborhoods, but live somewhere else. They live with the Edomites. They live amongst Esau, Edom. All right. So for an example of that is the Chinese. You go into our neighborhoods and you see Chinese restaurants throughout our neighborhoods, on every corner of every street, selling us Chinese food, right? But they do not live with us. They live in their own neighborhoods. They live in the neighborhoods of Esau, Edom, the so-called white people, right? You have the Arabs who work in our neighborhoods, who profit off of our people, who profit off of us with gas stations, convenience stores. They make money with us, but they do not live amongst us. They are above us. So they make their money through us, but then they do not live amongst us, right? So that is the stranger who is above thee, above us, right? The strangers who are in our neighborhoods, the strangers who are profiting off of us, but don't live amongst us. Now, let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Deuteronomy 28 and 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. So let's break this down, right? What people have been placed with yokes of iron around their necks? The so-called blacks. The so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. We are the ones who suffered through the transatlantic slave trade, right? The African diaspora. Right? We're the ones who had yokes of iron placed around our necks, right? And placed on ships and shipped to all four corners of this world, right? So let me further go into my breakdown, right? So yokes of iron have been placed on us on the ships. When we got on the ships, they placed yokes of iron on us on those ships. You had pregnant women with yokes of iron on them. You had men, children, all of us, yokes of iron placed on us. And the strongest evidence of that is in Babylon the Great. And that's when we were put on those plantations, right? And being on those plantations, so we wouldn't escape, they placed yokes of iron on us. I have pictures to show you. just to give you an idea. So these are some of them, right? Yokes of iron. Here's some more pictures. All right. Look at that. And look at this. Look at all that. That's what was placed on us, placed on our people, right? To keep us captive, right? For our disobedience to Yahweh, for not keeping the laws, commandments, and statutes, right? So that was the consequence, right? So to further go on, so imagine having these yokes of iron on you. You're working as a slave in the hot sun, bugs eating at you, you're hungry. It's horrible. And then you're trying to escape and you have these yokes of iron around you, shackled to you, right? You can't run away. You try and run away, you're caught by the dogs, right? You can't get through the bushes. You can't get through the trees. It's horrible, right? However, these are the curses that were placed on us. Now I'm going to continue. I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord, Yahweh, shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. This is talking about the nation of Esau Edom, taking us from the west coast of Africa and teaching us to speak their language, their low-graded language, which is suited for the devil. This English language that we speak is suited for the devil, which Esau Edom is. And they made us learn this language to beat our language and our heritage out of us. Our true language is the ancient Paleo-Hebrew. That's our true language. But they beat that out of us through the curses. Now I'm going to read Deuteronomy 28 and 50. Deuteronomy 28 and 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. Esau Edom, he don't give a damn about us, right? He doesn't care if you're old or young. You're in the field. Back when we were in the fields, he had no respect for the old and young, for the children, for the weak, the pregnant women. You had to work. Women were shackled up, giving birth while shackled. Can you imagine giving birth while shackled? Right? This is what was done to our women. All right. The best reference for that is the movie Amistad. Look at the movie Amistad, where it shows a woman giving birth while chained, dying. We are rotting on those ships, right? Dead bodies all over the ships, being thrown overboard, right? Esau Edom worked the young and the old, used our little ones for alligator bait, used our babies for alligator bait. Can you imagine that? You just gave birth and your baby is being used as alligator bait? Like Esau cut open pregnant women, the wombs of pregnant women, and fed the fetuses, fed those unborn babies to their dogs. Like, and this is what was happening to the northern kingdom. Esau Edom worked the elderly until they dropped dead, and would hit them with a mallet. All right, hit them over the back of the head and throw them in a ditch That's the cruelty Esau did to us, put on us. Now I'm going to go to the book of Baruch 2 and 30. Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew thee, Salakia, forgive me. I'm going to start that again. Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves. And that's what's happening. We're remembering our heritage. We're waking up out of this nightmare. While we're still in this nightmare, we're waking up to the good news, right? That we are the Israelites, right? We are waking up. And I'm going to go to Jeremiah 17 and 4. The book of Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever. This is why we're waking up. We're remembering ourselves. We, like, these aren't even, like, you know, this language we speak. We're waking up to our true identity, to our true heritage, right? When you look at the cargo manifest of the slave ships, we had Hebrew names. There are Hebrew names on there, right? Linking us, indicating who we truly are. Look at the movie Roots, right? He was strapped up. Toby was strapped up because he wouldn't accept his name. And finally, he said his name, his slave name, Toby. They had us whipped. They had other slaves whipping us, all right, whipping our own people, all right. We kept getting beat until we were destroyed, right? And there was no reason to keep the shackles on us because our women were hanging our women were hanging off Esau, right? Doing whatever Esau wanted them to do, right? Like Esau had our women as his whores, as his personal candy, right? Django, look at the movie Django, right? Candy's girls, Esau, right? Turned our women into sluts, doing whatever he wanted with them. Sucked, fucked, did whatever. Whatever Esau wanted, Esau got. Destroying us, destroying our women, destroying the men, destroying us, right? However, we're now waking up to this truth of who we are. We are the true Hebrew Israelites. We're the biblical Israelites, right? I hope this lesson was edifying. Shalom. Until next time, shalom.